Welcome to the Vinicius Studio podcast, where music, stories, timeless art, and resonant ideas help us live better, think deeper, and feel more alive. Welcome, everybody. This is Vinicius Barbosa Pipa. I am a composer and songwriter. I'm a professor at Berklee College of Music Online and an Emmy nominee. So the cat's out of the bag, and if you're here, you've seen the announcement that I am launching a podcast. That's my secret project that I've been working on for the last little bit. I've never done this before, but it should be easy, right? Because I like talking, and I talk a lot, and I basically just have to do that with the microphone on. So I thought today I'd give you a little bit of an overview of what are the things you can expect in this podcast. What are we doing? What's going on here? And what you can expect, okay? This is a podcast about things that make life richer. Music, stories, art, ideas, culture, and faith. And the conversations that will tie all of these things together. So it's about slowing down a little bit to notice beauty. The beauty in things, the beauty in music, the beauty in art, and in literature, and so on, and in film, and by consequence, noticing the beauty in life. It's also about exploring questions about life, about faith, and about culture. And I want to emphasize that I come from a standpoint of being very curious. So I don't have all the answers to everything, but I want to learn alongside you through exploring solo episodes, episodes around maybe a book or an idea or a work or something related to creativity, something related to culture, something we may have forgotten in our modern age, or some great new thing that's happening in our cultural life, and so on. So I want to explore these things. I don't have all the answers, but I want to learn alongside you. Let me tell you a little bit about me. So when I was very young, I became completely gripped by music. So much so that it led me to leave my home country of Brazil, move to the United States to study music and study composition. And it ended up becoming my career. I now am a composer for film and TV, and I write songs and so on as well. Later on, I became gripped by literature and great movies, great stories in general. And those things always gave me the sense that something greater outside of me was out there, and the music, the stories, the art were a way of connecting to this something greater. You can call this my pre-religious experience. C.S. Lewis, the great author, he called this the baptism of the imagination. At some point in my young adult life, though, that sense of wonder left me completely. I became somebody who was very cynical, very skeptical, and that kind of characterized my inner life. And that's troubling enough as it is, but it was even worse for me because I was already working as a professional composer. And when you're a professional creative and your sense of wonder leaves you and you're just kind of cynical and skeptical, it really leaves you in huge trouble, because that kind of enchantment is the fuel that sort of guides your creative work. Now, thankfully, a little bit later, I was guided back into a sense of enchantment and wonder, and it was even deeper than it was when I was little, and even more unshakable. And it's never left me again. And that's one of the things I want to share with you here in this podcast. Something else I noticed then, and I continue to notice now, is this. People are dying for a little bit of inspiration and encouragement. I'm hoping to share that with you all a little bit in this podcast, and that's one of the guiding principles here of what I do. So what can listeners expect out of this podcast? Solo episodes around books, music, creativity, history, culture, even conversations about faith. We'll be having guest conversations with creators, thinkers, people who have something meaningful to say, who are doing interesting work, or who just see the world in a way that is worth sharing. This will be a mix of big ideas and everyday takeaways, things that you can carry with you, hopefully implement in your lives after you're done listening to the podcast. And more than anything, I'm hoping that you can walk away inspired, encouraged, and with a little bit more fire inside you. Now, if you've heard all the above and you're now wondering to yourself, my goodness, how have I lived my entire life without a podcast such as this? Wonder no longer. I invite you to go ahead and click follow or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so that you don't miss an episode and you can get goodness like this on a regular basis. And if you want a little bit more of a behind the scenes look, I invite you to subscribe to my newsletter at musicbyvinicius.substack.com. That is musicbyvinicius.substack.com. It's free to sign up, and there's also a way there for you to support the work with a paid subscription if you'd like. Either way, I'd love to stay connected. And that's it for now, my friends. Thank you so much for being here. I'm really excited for you to hear what I've been working on. I've been pouring a lot of love into this podcast, and I'll see you all in the first episode.